Leeds.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Imagine not being Leeds. Just want to have a bit of a chat this morning about the injuries. With the news of Gruev last night being out for months, not weeks. They haven't really specified how many months, but it's rumoured it could be maybe up to 5 months. It could rule him out for the majority of the season. It looks like it's definitely going to be longer than Ampadu's injury, which we didn't expect when we saw Gruev go down against Norwich. We sort of thought Ampadu's injury would be the lengthiest of the two, and it turns out it's probably not going to be. Just before I delve deep into this video, I'd just like to do a big shout out to a channel that was on yesterday, Only Leeds Bros. Amazing set of lads, Darren and Dylan, the brothers from Ireland. Really lovely to meet them, or sort of meet him yesterday on a stream. Yeah, getting me on as their first guest, and I'll probably get them on as my first guest, to be fair, at some point once I get to grips with how all this sort of stuff works. But yeah, we did a bit of a Sunderland preview yesterday on their channel. Did a live, went out at 8:30 last night. So if you haven't seen that video and you haven't seen any of their content at all, go over to Only Leeds Bros and check their channel out. They're a fantastic set of lads, and I'm hoping we can sort of push each other to do well and to grow a decent rate together. So yeah, go check them out, please. But yeah, these injury concerns now, we've got Solomon and Dan James out. I don't think they're too serious. I expect they'll be back after international break. It's more of a depth issue with them in terms of not having them on the bench, because between Ramazani, Solomon, Nonto and Dan James, any two of them can start. So right now, them being out, it's losing that threat off the bench. But the starting lineup isn't massively impacted, because the two we've got starting arguably could have started regardless of Solomon and James being in team anyway. So it's this centre mid pairing. It's absolutely decimated this squad now. To lose your captain, Ampadu's, arguably his most influential player. Everything sort of runs through him. He's his leader. Most consistent player probably last season, right up there with Somerville. And to lose him for, almost 3 months is bad enough. And then you're thinking, right, Gruev's really got to step up now and play that role alongside Tanaka. And 20 minutes into that partnership, Gruev's out for what looks to be, even longer than Ampadu. So we're now at a position where we're fortunate we've got people like Tanaka and Rothwell as our third and fourth choice, as it were, midfielders. Although now they're going to be starting, and touch wood, we don't get any injuries there, but they're going to be a starting pair going forward now for probably at least the next 2 or 3 months. It's going to be very interesting to see how that dynamic works. I thought they looked, pretty good against Norwich, to be fair. It's a totally different style I think we're going to have to play now, because Farker likes to play with sort of 2 6s in that midfield, and I think Tanaka can play as an 8 or a 6, but he looks so comfortable wherever the ball is, whether he's in possession or he's in the area of the pitch where the opposition has the ball. He looks really comfortable at winning it back and starting the moves going forward. So I don't really have any issues with Tanaka. The main worry would be Rothwell, because he really is more of a traditional 8. So he's going to be looking to push beyond the halfway line, and I don't know if he's got it in his game to sit back as a 6 in that double pivot, if that's what Farker wants him to do, with that being the tactics we normally deploy. But is on the flip side of that, he's definitely going to give us more of a goal threat from midfield, which is something we haven't had in a long time. No goals from midfield last season apart from in playoffs, so that does excite me. The fact that you saw against Norwich, he gets on edge of area and he gets a shot away and it weren't the best, but you can see what we might get from him in that role. So it might be a totally different way of playing going forward, but it could be a very exciting one, to be fair. I've seen a lot of people mention this is showing how bad our business was in the summer. I'd have to say I disagree with that. I think the only areas you can argue that would be at centre half and possibly up front, although now Bamford and Pirro, Bamford's fit and Pirro's goal scoring form, I'd say. You could argue that, you've got 3 strikers there, into one position, so I wouldn't even touch on strikers, really. But I'd say at centre-half, you can see with Frail, it only took Volbert to get injured and we're down to just playing De Bayo if we get any more. But I think that centre at midfield, I think it's harsh to say we got that wrong. I think when you look at it, and, you've got Ampadu, Gruev, Tanaka, Rothwell, and then you've got Charlie Crew as your 5th choice, which, you need to be looking at having these youth players as on the fringe of the squad. And I think Crew should get minutes here and there, but I don't see how anyone can say that we didn't get the midfield right in the summer. You can't legislate for losing both your starting centre mids, within a couple of weeks of each other for long-term injuries. You expect an injury or 2 throughout the season, but you don't expect to get them both injured for, spells of 3 months onwards. You can't legislate for that, so I think it's very harsh to say we got that area of the pitch wrong in the summer. I think 4 players there, into 2 positions plus Crew as a 5th choice. I think it's decent for this level, and arguably the 2 that are starting for us now for the next few months, could play in pretty much every side in this division, in my opinion. Tanaka can possibly play higher than this position, as can Ampadu and Gruev, in my opinion, again. But I think that's harsh to say that we got that business wrong. But the proof will be in the pudding. We'll see. We'll see if these 2 can stay fit, and how well Crew can be used off the bench. I'm looking forward to seeing him get some minutes. I would expect now he'd get some minutes in the coming weeks, with him being that only real option. What I'd also like to mention is if he doesn't trust Crew or thinks we need more options than just Crew, there's a possibility that Aronson could maybe fill in that sort of double pivot, especially if we're going to be playing with one playing a little bit higher as an 8. You could have Tanaka in that 6, and you could maybe rotate Rothwell with maybe Aronson. I think that's maybe something you might look at in games where we're maybe comfortable, in a game where we're maybe 2-3 up. Hopefully we have many more of them games this season, but especially when Solomon's fit, because I don't see a world where Ramazani doesn't start if he's fit. So I could maybe see a possibility where he's got an excuse now to try Solomon in the 10. Aronson's probably undroppable at the minute too, and you could see him maybe play in that midfield too, but higher up as an 8. And that's something I'm excited to see, and I'd be surprised if he doesn't at least experiment with on certain games when he has that opportunity to do so. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, if you think that's a ridiculous claim, or if you think that's something you tend to agree with and maybe not thought of before. I've heard rumours that Leeds are potentially looking into the free market. Free agents, there's a few players out there, without mentioning them really, but we're heavily linked with a guy called, I think it's Kramer, who Farke was in charge of at Gladbach in Germany. 33-year-old, very experienced. I think he's a former German international. He could be someone we'll look to pick up. And when you're talking about getting free agents and they've missed out on pre-season, they're going to take a while to adapt and a while to get match sharp. Yeah, the professional footballers with long careers. So he's had a long career. Sorry, he's at 33, he's season pro. So you'd expect him to have maintained some level of fitness, but match sharpness could only come playing matches. But with the free market, I would say we won't look at that. But knowing that there's a player there that Farke knows and knows well, that may help with that transitional period to getting him into the team a little bit quicker. If he can get, if we were to bring, say, Kramer in, you can get him playing games maybe a lot sooner than that 4 to 6 weeks it normally takes to get up to match fitness, just because tactically he'll already know the system that Farke adopts. He won't have to adapt too much into that playing style. He'll sort of know that side, so it is literally just getting him fit, and you can do that by coming on for 20, 25 minutes a game, pretty sharpish, to be fair. So I'm wondering, if we can get through Friday, it might ease that pressure, knowing that we've got a few weeks of international break, where we hopefully can't pick up any more injuries, hopefully. But, Rothwell, he doesn't go away on international duty. Tanaka obviously goes to Japan, and he's got, he's doing a lot of miles. Hopefully he doesn't play too many games. I think there's 2 games on, available for him to play. I think last time he went away, he only played in first one, didn't play in second one. Hopefully we've agreed that with Japan, that, maybe he don't play that second game, so we don't risk him getting injured. But And yeah, I wouldn't be against us looking at bringing Kramer in, especially if Gruev's out for the season. You know, you could argue if it's a couple of months, you don't want to bring an extra body in and pay wages and, you know, bulk up that side thing just to be sat there as deadwood when we get these players back. But if you have lost Gruev for, you know, the entirety of the season, or it's potentially season over for him, which we don't know, but, you know, maybe they do. Bringing Kramer in wouldn't be a bad shout in my eyes. Farker knows him inside out, and, you know, it's just an extra body. And this team does lack experience, to be fair. Even just in and around dressing room, if we can come in and play some sparing minutes, I wouldn't be against it. So yeah, guys, just a little video there to tell you my thoughts on the injuries. I know there's a lot of guys out there on YouTube in that Leeds scene already who put this content out and do it a lot better than I do and more frequent. But I just want to get, you know, videos out when there's something to talk about, waffle on to you guys, and hopefully you don't mind my take on stuff. But yeah, I'd love you to like the video if you do, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and yeah, share this about and try and get my channel to where I want it to be. I want people to enjoy my content, see that I'm just a genuine Leeds lad who just loves talking about his club. And yeah, thanks for being here watching this. And like I said at the beginning, please go check out Only Leeds Bros on their channel, please. They're fantastic set of lads, and, you know, the content's really good. So hopefully I'm going to meet them at the Sheffield United home game after the international break, and, you know, we'll maybe get that footage on a vlog too, so you can see the three of us together. But yeah, hopefully we get the 3 points tonight. Big 3 points it'll be. 4 points in a week, I will take that. And then we've got 2 weeks to settle back down. But I'll be back for a review of the game over the weekend. And if you haven't checked out my Sunderland preview with Wayne from Only Fools and SAFC that I did yesterday, have a look on my videos and check that one out. So yeah, guys, take care. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.